Okay. Hey, everyone. Happy Monday. We have so many people on this call, which has me so excited. Some new faces, some new names. So welcome. If this is your first time hopping on our team call, this is something we do every Monday night, 8:30 to 9. I always stop right at 9 because I know we've got bedtimes and kids and all the things, but we take 30 minutes and we just talk through either some encouragement or tips for you guys or mindset things. It's really just a time for us to grow together. So I am so excited to see you guys on here. And I think maybe the topic drew a few people in this evening that I don't want to be salesy, right? Like, how many of you were like, ooh, I need to hear that because I've definitely had that thought before. You can let me know in the chat if that was you, if you were thinking like, yes, I definitely need to hear about not being salesy, because none of us really want to be salesy, right? We all love Plexus. We want to share. Maybe some of you are in the Silver and Seven chat and you're like, okay, I'm interested in even making some money from this or getting my products covered, but I just don't want to be salesy, right? Who feels that way? I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be spammy, right? Yes, all of us. Okay. So we are going to dive into how sales is actually service. And I'm going to hopefully help you work through some of these mindset things. But first, we have to just like zoom out a little bit and kind of get a bird's eye view of what we're doing here with Plexus before we really dive into the conversation. Okay. So I want to talk to you, and many of you have heard me say this before, but about the different pillars of your business. And if you're brand new, it's okay. Don't be like, oh my gosh, this isn't for me. It is. It's totally for you. When we're building a network marketing business, however big or small you want it to be, there's really four pillars that cause us to grow. And that is recruitment, retention, duplication, and leadership development. If you think of like a house, right? Those are the four big pillars that we're building when we build our business. And they sit on a foundation of mindset. And that mindset is having our head in the right place to do the work that we're doing. And really 80% of what we do is mindset. Skill set is only 20%. So if you feel like you're not very good at this, it's really okay. It's only 20% of the effort here is skill set, and you can learn. That's the beauty of it. But 80% is mindset. It's learning and growing, just like Coralie said in the chat. And it's being willing to embrace, like looking at the thoughts that we're having and being willing to address them and change them. Okay. That is the foundation of the house. And I shared this example with some of you earlier this week, but we like to walk our dog and to walk the kids like up to the next street. And there is a house being built. And for the longest time, it just looked like boys playing in the dirt, right? Some dirt moved over here, some dirt moved over there. There was like nothing happening for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then you saw like cement, right? Like, okay, they laid the foundation and like, it really didn't look like much is happening. And then I walked by the other day and like the entire house is built, right? Like the framing's up, the windows are in. I'm like, where did this thing come from? And I was like, wow, that's such like a clear example of how our businesses work too. That laying the foundation, working on our mindset, it feels like nothing's happening, right? Like there's not a lot to show for it. We just like, we're doing all this work, we're digging through the thoughts, and it's like, man, there's nothing really going up yet. But it's so critical, because what would happen if you put the framing up and tried to put the windows in, but the foundation was not stable? The first little storm or breeze or wind or anything, that house is going to collapse, right? So as you're like trying to recruit people for Plexus, or you're trying to help people duplicate, or you want to be a leader, that is great, but we have to have that mindset foundation laid first. It is literally so, so critical. Once the foundation is laid, we can start looking at those pillars. And the very first one is recruitment. Because of course, if you haven't recruited anyone, you can't do duplication, you can't do leadership, you can't do retention until you have customers that you're working with. And I love the Silver and Seven group. I'm so proud of Alicia. Thank you, Alicia, for taking the lead. And it's just been a great resource for our team. And it just started today. So if you're not in it and you want to be, we can add you. But we're really focused on that first pillar, right? That recruitment pillar. That's the first thing, is to get people into your team. But we have so many mindset blocks around it. And one of them is this fear of being salesy. Okay. So when we look at that recruitment pillar, if you're not recruiting consistently, and some of you have been on this team a long time, you have to look at that first. Am I recruiting consistently? If no, the problem is either with consistency, mindset, or skill set. Okay, so take a look at that consistency. Am I taking action consistently? If no, Okay, that's the problem, right? We just need to get consistent. If you are consistent, but you're not getting results, then it's either you need to grow in your skill, which is like why we provide verbiage, why we, suggest like, here's a great post idea, or here's a follow-up message, or your influence. And influence is really just adding value to other people. It's those not plexus conversations. It's the things that you post that can increase your influence. But if you are taking action, you will see the results, but we have to work on that mindset. And one of the first mindset roadblocks that pops up is this, I don't want to be salesy thought. And it can keep you from reaching out to people, because when you're feeling like, I don't want to be salesy, you're not going to have conversations, right? It will be like that roadblock in the way. Well, I can't talk to them because I don't want to be salesy. So we are going to dive into this, and I'm going to ask for a little interaction here, either in the chat, or you guys can unmute if you have a thought. But think about the last 3 purchases that you made. Okay. Just like take a minute. Think about the last 3 purchases that you made. If you can think of them, either unmute and tell me, or pop them in the chat, or even like one big purchase recently. New scrubs. Okay, Shan, that's good. Shan bought new scrubs. New clothes from a thrift shop, groceries, dishwasher. Okay, that's a big one. Dishwasher might be a good one to dive into because that's a real need, right? AC, okay, air conditioning, yes. How did those purchases meet a need in your life? Let's just take a smoothie. I love it, Victoria. Hey, a smoothie can meet a real need in your life for sure. But okay, hot water heater. Okay, I love these appliance ones, like household needs. So let's take the hot water heater, because I'm just looking at Coralie's comment there. How does that meet a need in your life? Like, do you need hot water in your house? 100%. Have you ever taken a cold shower? It is the worst, right? So you need a hot water heater, okay? It is a necessity. What if the company that sold you that hot water heater had a fear of being salesy? Right? What if they were afraid of being salesy? Or let's take the smoothie, Victoria's smoothie. What if the smoothie person, the smoothie truck, the smoothie shop, whatever it was, had a fear of being salesy and didn't want to put their product out to you because they were afraid of being salesy? We would still have needs, right? Like that need would have been unmet if the person or the company was afraid of being salesy. Right? Yes, Victoria, their Instagram always has you running there. So they are literally selling directly to you, but you love it. You're grateful for it. And you go get a smoothie because they are meeting a need that you have. And the water heater company or whatever it is, they advertised, or you called, or you saw, and they met a need that you have. So people do not mind being sold to. We buy things all the time. Like look in the comments, all of those things that you guys needed that you were able to purchase. People actually love a good sales experience, right? We love a great sales experience. And when we feel cared for and our needs are met, it is a wonderful thing. And that is how selling is serving. Selling is serving because it is meeting a need. We need people to sell things because that's how we serve our fellow human beings. Selling is meeting a need. I just want you to like drill that into your head. Selling is meeting a need. Imagine if nobody wanted to sell anything and everyone was too fearful about coming across salesy. We would have to produce everything ourselves in order to survive, right? A lot of our needs would be unmet because I can't make a water heater, right? And maybe someone else can't make a smoothie. But when we are able to sell to each other, we meet each other's needs. And that's what makes our economy thrive and meets the needs of our fellow humans. And I don't know if you guys saw, but it was Prime Day, like last week sometime, right? And we're all telling each other like, oh, this is on sale and that's on sale. I was looking for a water purifier, and I know Shannon recently bought one too. So we've been talking about that. Looking for a water purifier, and I have like 12 of them in my cart, right? And I'm comparing and I'm looking and I'm like, I don't know. If someone had reached out to me and said, hey, I know all about water purifiers. Can I share some information with you? Do you know what I would have said? Yes, please, right? Like, please tell me because I don't know. And it's the same way when we're talking about supplements and we're talking about plexus. People have a need. They want to be healthier. They want to take supplements. They've put out there on social media that they have no energy, they're exhausted all the time, or they can't poop, or they can't lose weight, or they have, all kinds of issues. And we can say, hey, could I talk to you? No, Shannon, yes, I did. I did buy my water purifier, but it was the whole thing. It was the whole process because I was indecisive. But, people want what we have. And when you reach out to them and say, hey, I thought of you because XYZ, could I tell you more about the supplements I've been taking? You might be meeting a really big need that they have. And so instead of just thinking like, oh, I'm trying to sell them, you're trying to serve them. You're meeting a need. Or if they say, no, that's not a need I have right now, then you can say, okay, no problem. Like, thanks for chatting with me, right? Okay, so selling is serving. I think we've drilled that in. I want you to also think about things you recommend. Okay, so I asked you like purchases you bought lately. What are some things that you recommend, or when's the last time you made a recommendation? Think about like favorite shampoo, favorite show, a great deal. Anyone have an example of something you've recommended recently? You can pop it in the chat. Curly shampoo, babysitter. That's great, Danielle. Good example. A Stanley cup, 100%. Love my Stanley. Okay, so these are things that you have recommended. Does anyone have negative feelings, Spindrift, negative feelings about making a recommendation? I personally love Native body wash and deodorant, and I love Billy razors. Those are two weird things that I recommend all the time. Do you have any bad feelings about making a recommendation? If I was like, Fern, you have to get some Native body wash. It smells really good and it's super clean and there's no chemicals in there, right? Would I feel like weird saying that? No. So think about it. When we make a recommendation, we're selling, right? We're selling that product, but we're selling it for someone else. I'm not making a profit. Native is making a profit, or Spindrift is making a profit, whoever you're recommending. These are acts of selling and serving, but they don't have a compensation plan attached. Oh my goodness, Alicia, I sent Victoria her first Billy razor. It was the weirdest gift. It was before a Plexus event. And I'm like, I'm sending you a weird gift. And it was the Billy razor because they're so good. So I recommended it. And then she recommended it to you. Like, it trickles down. We recommend great products. Yes, everyone's going to go buy a Billy razor on Amazon right now because they're so good. But that is selling. We're selling and we're serving when we're making a recommendation, but it doesn't bother us because we're not making any money off it. So this is something we need to dive into. Like, this is a mindset thing. Is it actually the selling that's bothering us, or is it that we're ashamed of making money off the sale? Right? Just sit with it for a second. Is it selling that's bothering you, or is it making money that's bothering you? Okay. Because a lot of the time we have no problem making recommendations, but we get all kinds of weird feelings when it comes to making income. Okay. So just sit with it. We have to dig into these things sometimes. This is that foundation of mindset that we always have to work on. And let me just say, you're not alone. Okay. This is like, everyone experiences this. I personally have had to address this fear of selling as well. And I've been doing Plexus for 5 years. And I've had that same feeling that you're having about sales. But what I have found is that our products, the community, and the compensation plan change people's lives for the better. And if you don't know that yet, just go to our Stories of Hope page and listen to some of the testimonies, or read some of the testimonies, or go back and listen to our team call that we did with Shannon last week. People just gushing about how the products have changed their lives, how the community has been amazing for them, or how the business has changed their lives. It absolutely changes people's lives. So sometimes you just have to combat that negative feeling or that fear that you have with the truth, right? We have to replace the lie with the truth. And the truth is that we have something amazing that we are able to offer people. And I also think about Amber, who shared Plexus with me. What if she had been afraid to share with me because of appearing salesy? Like, what if she was afraid of appearing salesy? I literally would not be living the life I'm living right now. And I wouldn't have the health that I have right now if she was afraid. So that fear can hold back a major blessing from other people. So I think we need to flip it. Instead of saying like, oh, what are they going to think? What if they, think I'm being salesy? What might happen if we don't share? Yes, baby Shiloh. I literally wouldn't have my youngest child if it wasn't for Amber sharing plexus with me. Like in God's providence, how those things work out, like that is a reality. I wouldn't have baby Shiloh. So what would happen if you don't share? What if I'm holding the key to let the person out of their health prison, right? What if plexus is going to be the answer for them, but I refuse to give it to them? I refuse to unlock that door for them. Who might miss out on a solution to their problem if you don't share with them? And that can really compel you to take action even when you're fearful. Another question to reflect on and to ask yourself when this fear of, being salesy comes up is just ask yourself, who am I focused on? Who am I focused on? Am I really focused on that person that I'm thinking of reaching out to and solving a problem for them and meeting a need in their life? Or am I focused inward? Like, is my feelings and my fears, am I getting a little wrapped up in me and not focused enough on the solution this might be for someone else? Okay, I think when we get our mindset right, we realize, yes, I am selling something, and that's awesome. I'm serving others and I'm providing a solution, and people want what I'm looking for. Okay, one other mindset, one other kind of roadblock thought that comes up that I want to dive into is it's connected. It can be, I don't want people to think that I'm only trying to sell them something. Okay. It's similar, but it's a little different. Not just, I don't want to be salesy, but I don't want the person to think that I'm only trying to sell them. And this one's really easy to work through because here's the question. Do you only care about the sale? Like, tell me yes or no. When you're reaching out to people, do you only care about the sale and nothing else? Let me see it in the comments. No, of course not. I think everyone on this team, because I know you guys would say, no, of course not. I don't only care about the sale. In fact, the reason I'm reaching out is because I care about them and I want them to be healthy. And so the people who have this fear, right? The fear about how they're going to think I only care about the sale. People who fear coming across this way are generally the people who care about others the most. Okay. You care so much about helping others that you would never want them to think that you're just trying to sell them. So let me just tell you, this fear, just don't even let it be a real thing. You are exactly the kind of person, if you're having that fear, you're the kind of person that cares. And I know the people on this team, you care about others. So you have nothing to fear. You're the right kind of person. You have integrity and you have character. It's always about the other person. Does it benefit you when someone orders? Yes. But your why, your reason is them, is helping them. And so you can remedy that fear by number one, knowing your why. Why are you reaching out? Why are you sharing Plexus, right? Get rock solid on that. And number two, providing an incredible customer service experience to your customers. We don't just sell people supplements and say, good luck, see ya. No, we've got team page, we've got challenges, we've got groups and phone calls and chats and all the things because we want them to have an amazing experience. And that's how people know, oh, she really does care about me. It wasn't just a sale. Like, yes, retention is huge. Onboarding is key. Those ways that we connect people show them that we really want to love and serve them and look at their whole health as a person and not just supplements and goodbye. We truly, truly take care of people. And then the third way, so knowing your why, providing incredible customer service. And number three, continuing to connect and add value, even when someone says no, right? If it was all about the sale, when someone said no, we'd be like, ignore. No, of course not. We're still connecting. We're still adding value. We're still circling back to see if their needs change in the future. And I know you guys do a fantastic job with that. Truly, love and service is the way to grow. Okay, so we need to be comfortable with our motives and the fact that making money by helping people is okay. It's a good thing. Like that drive we have to create and produce and provide income for yourself and your family, that is a God-given drive. It's how we're able to serve our family while serving others. Greed is a different thing. Greed is only looking to make money and not serve, right? Just make the sale and not take care of people. That is not what we do. I do not see that trait on our team at all. We tend to really attract high integrity people who love others more than they want money. But earning money by doing a great thing is a great thing. Okay. When you can love and serve people and it puts food on your table for your family, that is a wonderful thing. Okay. So I just want to reiterate, people want what we have. The supplement marketplace is a $39 billion industry in the United States. $39 billion industry in the United States. The reason I share that is people are 100% buying supplements, right? They're buying supplements. This is an actual need, just like people are buying water filters and Spindrift and razors and shampoo and everything else. People are buying supplements, and they oftentimes feel lost in that purchasing process. Just like me with my water filter. I don't know which one to do. I wish someone would tell me, give me some guidance. It's the same way with supplements. People are looking for that help and that service. And when we reach out and send that message and ask if we can connect them with the right products for them, you're meeting a need and you are serving even while you're selling. So you can just be you and be successful at this. There is nothing in it that violates your conscience. Selling is serving, and we can really share that confidently and know that our community, our compensation plan, and of course the products make a massive difference. Okay, so I would love for you guys to unmute and share thoughts. Tell me if this was helpful. How does the mindset shift help you be more bold in your messaging? We've got a couple minutes to share.
This was very good. I
Hey,
always feel as though I could sell anything and everything for somebody else, but when it's a product, even if I believe in it, I always have a hang up, and I guess I overthink. Are they going to think my motive is right? And so, yeah, this was really helpful because I actually discussed this today with Corley about this. So, yeah, thank you very much.
That's great. I love that you guys are having side conversations about this too. It's so helpful. And it's helpful to know that everyone struggles with this, right? And the fact that you're struggling means that you're a high integrity person, right? You care about your reputation. You care about coming across the right way. And that shows you're the right kind of person to be sharing. You're going to take care of your customers. You're not just after the money. You're not just after the sale. So I love that. Thanks, Diane. Victoria, you raised your hand very politely. Would you like to say something?
Sure. Okay. So I will lower my hand now.
I will lower my hand.
I'm sorry if I missed this. Did you talk about follow-up? Because I was putting Aiden down for a hot second.
Not specifically.
Okay. So I just wanted to say, because I think for me, like initial messages don't feel salesy to me. Sometimes I find when I message people more than one time, maybe they haven't responded. That's when I start to get like this fear mindset setting in, like, oh, am I being too pushy? Am I being too salesy? But I always have to remind myself that, just like Brittany said, like, until we are serving, and I know that until these people have these products in their hands, like it's not helping them. And for me personally too, like I'm the type of person that needs to be reminded about something a bajillion times before I will do it. Like I have a friend who sells beauty counters. She'll tell me like the hour before the sale ends, hey, you didn't place your order, like what's going on? And then I will place it. So just like keeping that perspective, because I know sometimes, and my team has talked about like, how do you follow up in a, non-salesy, non-pushy way? And I think just having that mindset and posture and heart, like people will be able to feel that. So just wanted to share that.
Yes, that is so good. And, when we see that we've sent a couple messages in a row without a response, we get all these like, all the head trash starts. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm bugging them, da, da, da. But I just was scrolling to find how long it's been. A lady that I had been sharing with since June 2021. Okay, so that is 2 full years. Lots and lots of messages, just letting her know, like, we've got this event coming up, we've got this and that coming up, inviting her to challenges. She finally joined last month and she is loving the slim down challenge. She's lost 10 pounds already when nothing else has worked for her. And she's like, sign me up for life, right? So like, you never know. And I wasn't bugging her. She just had other things going on. Like Plexus is very front of mind for us. It's not for other people. They don't know what they're missing yet. So yeah, it's just kind of removing all of that head trash and be like, I'm serving. And sometimes I'll even say something funny when I'm following up, like, hey, I look like a total stalker, but I just wanted to let you know, like, this is coming up. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know, so you don't have to be weird about it. Just like normal conversation and being really passionate about what you're sharing. Yeah. Anyone else? Any other thoughts? I'm just reading the comments here too. Yeah, Shan, I love it. Yeah, when you call people out on the ghosting, it usually gets really funny and then they'll answer you, right? And you're just looking for a yes or a no, right? If it's not the right time for someone, that's totally fine, right? But you can keep following up. I mean, it takes usually 7 to 10 contacts for someone to make a purchase decision. I mean, look at me with my water filter. Shannon's like, you seriously haven't bought that thing yet? I want a water filter, but it took me like 6 months because I had this decision fatigue of what to pick. So when we make it simple for people and we take that decision fatigue away and we say, hey, you'd really benefit from either triplex or reset and triplex or whatever 2 options, would be best for them. That is serving. It's like truly meeting a need. I wish some water filter expert had been like, this one or this one. We got 1 more minute. Yeah, Victoria, the Berkey. Yep. That was one of the options. We went with water drop, but yeah, exactly. Okay. Everybody's quiet. So I guess no one has more thoughts, but let's just keep reminding each other, selling is serving. Selling is serving. We don't have to call it something else. Selling, it's fine. You are selling Plexus. Absolutely. But that is serving. And we can all be comfortable with that. If you're brand new in the silver chat, it's fine. You're reaching out to people because they have a need. They want to buy supplements. They want to be part of our community. It's going to bless them. And our boldness in sharing is going to be someone else's blessing, right? Like, I am so glad Amber shared with me. I think you would all say that about your sponsor, your upline. I'm so glad they weren't too afraid to share with me. So don't hold that blessing back. You have the key to help someone out of that health prison, or that, they have no community. They have no friends. Like, invite them in. This is an amazing place for that. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. I will share the recording and you guys have a wonderful week. Good night, guys.
Night.